What am I saying?
White chair film?
It's Tim Timmons, White Chair Film. So every morning that I get to wake up, I write an X on my wrist. The X stood for the Christ years ago. At some point, just started seeing that my life was so much about my kingdom. Like, I polish my kingdom, I'm trying to prop it up, and Jesus is pretty clear about saying, seek first the kingdom of God, and not yours, Tim. And I just was tired of trying to be awesome. What's so helpful about this is that just all day long, it's like, Tim, it's not about your kingdom today. And the fact that I woke up again today, which I'm not supposed to be alive today because of my cancer journey, I got another day. Jesus, thank you, woke me up again, and I just want to join you today. People ask me to tell them my story, and I think what they always mean is, what's your cancer story? And my cancer story is the dumbest story I have. My story is watching Jesus at work through all these years in my life. I grew up as a pastor's kid, incredible mom and dad that loved me so well. In between my 8th and 9th grade year, my parents sat us down. They told us they're getting a divorce. And stuff started coming out in the news about my dad, and it was in the papers, it was on TV. It was just like a really big deal for this little junior high kid, you know. So we went from this awesome house in Newport Beach to just the kind of the lowest little apartment place that I just lived with my mom, kind of from riches to rags. I mean, all the things that shape us in life somehow still have residual in us. And those, when I look back, are really hard years. I started writing songs at like 11. My first song was called I Love You So. My sister was leaving for Europe. My parents were just divorcing or getting separated. And the line in the verse is we've been through it all, through the rise and fall, we've stood tall. I mean, can you get any cheesier than those lyrics? But like that was, I had to write my prayer at that moment. And I think songwriting has been the gift for me, one of the big gifts for me that has helped me like walk through really hard things in life. And that's funny, just even thinking about that cheesy song I wrote my sister. While I was in high school, I was writing a bunch and playing a bunch of music. Through college, I was in a bunch of bands. I remember walking into my dorm and seeing this girl, Hillary. We became really good friends. Then we got married when I was just barely 22. And 3 years later, we were working in youth ministry at Mariners Church. We were high school ministry. I'd always wanted to go out and pursue music in the mainstream. It was at that moment that 2 weeks before we were about to leave that my wife said, you've got to go get checked out. I was getting hot flashes and just different symptoms were happening. And my doctor said, Tim, you have cancer. You have probably 5 years to live. It's incurable, and it's now at stage 4. And man, I will never forget Hillary and I going back home. Just like, how does that happen? Is God really God, or is he not? If he is God, is he good? And then if he is God, if he is good, what's my response in the midst of this? There have been so many moments of anger, sadness, questioning, deconstructing, reconstruction of my faith. I became really good at being a varsity American Christian, like really good. And I was exhausted, like my soul was tired. And Hillary and I just decided we never want to do church again. We want to figure out how to just be it with people. And we hung out with this group of people at this motel. And the motel had a bunch of prostitutes and their pimps, 10 kids living in a one-bedroom, people experiencing homelessness everywhere. I had my little plastic gloves on to kind of feed them like food or whatever. And I thought, what if we're both trying to figure out if Jesus is real? Like, what if blessed are the poor in spirit, the people that don't fit in our gatherings, for theirs is the kingdom of God? Gosh, what if the church is so much more beautiful and so much bigger than I had ever imagined? So I remember taking off our plastic gloves after a while, just saying, no, these are our people. And I remember wanting to write a song about God being able to do things, but even if he didn't, he is my hope. Like, life's hard and God's good. Life's hard and God's at work in all things. Life's hard and we can hold gratitude at the same time, grief and gratitude. And I think this song gives permission for that. Then I had this sense that the song was for one of my best friends, Bart. But to go to one of your best friends, and he's like a big deal. Bart's a big deal. That would be me trying to build my kingdom. And so I just said, Jesus, if you want to open that door, that's your job to do, not my job. And then Bart comes in crying about an appointment that he had just had with his son that was so hard. And he says the chorus of Even If, the song he'd never heard, almost verbatim. And I just sat there going, Jesus, this is so cool. Like, I didn't have to do anything. You just opened this door. Because I quit working for God and just said, I will join you for the rest of my days. Jesus keeps teaching me and inviting me into this just gift of living in the present moment. Okay, go with me for a second on this. There are 10,080 minutes in a week. 80 of those minutes I found that I was spending in a church gathering. There are 10,000 other minutes until we gather again. I watched myself be awesome when we gather as a church, but when we scatter as a church, I'm like, I got this, Jesus. What if Jesus is at work in the 10,000 minutes? And what if he's inviting me and us into just joining him in the 10,000 minutes? The 10,000 minutes is when stuff gets hard in life. That's when the stuff hits the fan. So some friends and I, we just started years ago, hey, let's just see how the practices of Jesus work in real life. It's about you being a blesser of the people around you. Pray blessing. Bless your enemy. I have struggled with worry my whole life. Like, worry addict. One of the practices that we do is practicing trust instead of worry. I've watched my heart change. I've watched me from being a worry addict to worry does not hold me like it used to. I have had a lot of contempt in my life and still deal with contempt. But that is not holding me anymore. I'm getting so much quicker at blessing my enemy. And what if Jesus' invitation for us is not just hear more theology and like more content, but actually put these things into practice? So on the way here, I was saying, Jesus, you have my attention. I trust you with my finances. Like, how different is my day when I'm able to actually put that into practice versus just going straight to worry? So 25 years ago, I was given 5 years to live. Tumor still in my liver today, wearing out my heart. 25 years has been a long time to try to figure out how to walk through this stuff. So all I know to do is just live present in today. Just being grateful for another day. Who knows if you're going to wake up tomorrow? But today we get to be alive and we get to see what Jesus is up to. Me at 50 years old, man, what am I going to know at 51? How much more beautiful will Jesus be at 51? And that's my invitation for you, is in the midst of our mess, that we can hold grief in gratitude and join Jesus all day long. I am Tim Timmons, and I am second.